I'm going to talk about how you would introduce a literature review, or at least one way of doing it. So here's one that's on video podcasts, and I claim it's a comprehensive review of the literature. So once you get past the abstract, in this case there's a table of contents, which is the format of this journal, you would give an overview. And in your overview, you could do a number of things. And I'll give you a copy of this paper so you can take a look at it in more detail, but I'll just explain in the video. What could you do? You could look at the definition of the term. Okay, so if it's not universal, you want to talk about what is a video podcast and give examples so that the reader knows what it is you're reviewing. And then in my case, I went to the purpose, although you could have had a second paragraph talking about the importance of video podcasts in education in general, just perhaps based on newspaper articles or more general reports, government reports, that kind of thing about why it is important. Because you want to hook people in and say, "Oh, okay, this is why I'd want to read this paper. This is actually important. Podcasts are taking off. They're used by a whole bunch of students, and this is why I should look at this paper." However, I also jump into the purpose of the paper. So right away, I give the reader a sense of what's the purpose is to provide a comprehensive review. I give the range of review, in this case 2002 to 2011. I talk about previous research reviews and some of the limitations. So that's a good reason to start a new research review, because if there have been previous research reviews, someone could say, well, why would you even do this? You say, well, there's some problems with that. They focused on this, they're dated, they're limited in focus, whatever. And then I talk about the key areas that I'm going to look at. So it just gives the reader a taste of what's going to happen. So that's the first section. It's an overview, a big overview of what's happening. And then I talk about the history and growth of whatever I'm doing, in this case, video podcasts. I talk about when the research began. I established the use of YouTube and the exploding uh, popularity of videos and various other themes which may not be applicable to your paper, but you want to sort of give an overview of the history of this area. It's a descriptive sort of overview. And in this case, you may also establish the importance of the topic. Now, those key themes are up to you, but one that you really should include is previous literature reviews. Now, you don't need to include that if there hasn't been a literature review, so that's fine. What you would do if there hasn't been a literature review is in your history selection, this part here, the selection section, this history section, you would start to establish some conflicting opinions and that there's a lot of different kinds of results and it's difficult to get a general consensus of what's going on. So that's why you need a literature review. In my case, there had been 3 previous literature reviews, so I looked at them very carefully and tried to determine what I could add to the actual situation. So there are 3 reviews. I said one focused exclusively on audio podcasts, so that's not relevant to video podcasts, or not directly, it's tangentially relevant. And then the Magar article focused on both, but did not distinguish the relative contributions, so that doesn't isolate video podcasts specifically. And then I talk about the last one, which had a sparse sample of 13 articles. So it's important to identify opportunities, not necessarily rip reviews apart, but to offer opportunities that you're going to capitalize on and improve the quality of the review of this particular area. So, in summary, you'll want to write an overview describing your particular topic, perhaps identifying its importance and then the purpose. And then you'll want to give an historical descriptive overview, establishing reasons why you need to do a literature review. And that could be previous literature reviews aren't that good, or it could mean that the results are so conflicting and there are a number of results, and it's important to synthesize those results to move forward with a common research agenda.